Howdy everyone, and welcome to the Serial Geek TV YouTube channel. My name is James Eatock, and today I present to you 50 things about Hordak. So without any further ado, let us begin. As discovered by myself and the gentleman over at the Power and the Honor Foundation many moons ago, Hordak, as with all the main cast of the She-Ra cartoon, was the co-creation of Mattel and Filmation. Ted Mayer was the primary artist at Mattel working on the design of Hordak. In the Masters of the Universe style guide, it is stated that Hordak gained his transformative abilities when passing through the dimensional gate from Etheria to Eternia. However, the UK Masters of the Universe comic performed a 180-degree turn and stated that when on Eternia, Hordak was unable to use his transformation powers. Given how many appearances the character made in the UK comic, it's impressive that they stuck to that rule. Including their battle in the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special, Hordak fought Skeletor on screen 5 times in total. Their first battle in Reunions was a draw, with the Lord of Destruction winning 3 of the other 4 confrontations. Initially, the Hordak action figure was going to sport blue skin. This look for the action figure actually makes an appearance in the first Masters of the Universe minicomic, in which the ruthless leader of the evil Horde appears. Oddly, in numerous pieces of She-Ra promotional material from Filmation, Hordak actually fails to appear, with Shadow Weaver being presented as the main threat. The Marvel Star Masters of the Universe comic, prior to its cancellation, was going to see the stories take place after the live-action movie, culminating in He-Man and Skeletor putting aside their differences and teaming up to fight Hordak, who was beginning to gain a foothold on Eternia. Hordak was voiced by George DiCenzo, who had already made a couple of uncredited appearances in the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon as Lord Turin from the episode The Sleepers Awaken and Garth from the episode Eye of the Beholder. In the episode My Friend My Enemy, it is revealed that Hordak learned how to transform parts of his body from Noah, the Wizard of Woeful Mountain. By far one of Hordak's best transformations in the series occurs in the much loved Flowers for Hordak episode. Frustrated with the captured yet utterly carefree perfumer, Hordak transforms his head into a sledgehammer and proceeds to headbutt the wall. If Hordak's animation model resembled the colours seen on his action figure, he would have looked like this. In addition, I actually own a character model that matches his toy design. Look at that. In one of the most violent scenes in the She-Ra series, Hordak points his cannon arm point blank at the side of the head of a Horde trooper and fires. Thank goodness the troopers were designated not to be humans, right? Out of the 93 episodes of She-Ra Princess of Power, Hordak appears in 68 of them. In the classic episode The Price of Freedom, Hordak actually wins, pretty much defeating He-Man and She-Ra and burning a rebel-aligned village to the ground. A rather awesome concept illustration of Hordak by Filmation artist Curtis Kim was lovingly based on a piece of Frank Frazetta artwork from Fire and Ice. With She-Ra helping Hordak escape the Dark One's clutches in the episode Into the Dark Dimension, as a way of saying thank you, Hordak allows She-Ra and her captured allies to leave the Fright Zone, much to the confusion of his henchmen.
No! You saved my life, but I will not be in your debt. I am, therefore, repaying you now. We will not fight this day. You may go in peace this time.
Hordak claims to hate Eternia in the episode Battle for Brightmoon, but would later attempt to conquer it in the episodes Horde Prime Takes a Holiday and Gateway to Trouble. In the Masters of the Universe minicomic Leech, the Master of Power Suction Unleashed, Hordak rather randomly displays the ability to grow to a giant with little to no explanation. Although many artists worked on concepts for the design of Hordak, the final character model is credited to Gerald Thornton and Herb Hazelton. Hordak is rather good at creating tongue twisters.
At this rate, I should have Whispering Woods totally destroyed. Faster than you can say, horrible Hordak headed a herd of hideous horsemen.
A scene cut from the episode Reunions was to have Hordak battle Beastman and Trapjaw as he approaches Snake Mountain. Shortly after this battle, Triclops, Webstore and Whiplash also attack Hordak with blasters, but Hordak transforms into a large garbage scoop and scoops them up. For a brief few moments, in the mini-comic that came with the Buzzsaw Hordak action figure, the power of the central tower turns Hordak good. In the fantastic Marvel Star comic story Whose Enemy Am I Anyway?, He-Man and Hordak, both suffering from amnesia, find themselves on another world and team up, becoming firm friends in order to survive. Hordak was primarily the combination of two characters in development, Hordak and Reaper. Hordak has an impressive bust made of him, which She-Ra and He-Man rather rudely destroy when preventing the Doom Dimension from destroying Etheria. Oddly, in their first on-screen appearance together, Hordak appears to have a strong dislike of Imp. Thankfully, their friendship would become apparent as the series progressed, with Hordak stating that Imp was the only member of the Horde he could trust. Being placed in charge of Horde Prime's mighty flagship never goes well for Hordak. Firstly, continuity-wise, he is responsible for the destruction of the awesome Monstron in the episode Birds of a Feather, and in the episode Horde Prime Takes a Holiday, without permission, he takes the equally awesome Velvet Glove on a mission to conquer both Etheria and Eternia, and the ship ends up destroyed. Although Mattel went with Hordak being the leader of the evil Horde, even as far back as Filmation's development of the She-Ra series Bible, Hordak was always considered a leader under the command of the unseen Horde Prime. When enlightening the captured Swiftwind of the winged unicorn's bleak future, we really do bear witness to the ruthless side of his personality.
I will tell you what Horde Prime will do to you. He will put you in a cage, in the deepest, darkest dungeon he can find, and leave you there. You will be fed, taken care of, but you will never see the sky, never see sunrises or sunsets. As the years pass, your mane will become gray from the darkness, and your wings will wither from lack of use. You will never fly again.
Hordak had his own theme song in the UK Masters of the Universe ads.
Hordak and the evil Horde are out to get He-Man and Skeletor. Hordak, Hordak. Skeletor, Skeletor.
The character models for the cast of She-Ra were still being developed as the first 5 episodes were being storyboarded, leading to a use of numerous pre-final designs. This is most evident in the case of Hordak, whose appearance changes from storyboard to storyboard and, due to revisions, from page to page. When the need arose, Hordak was able to perform a rather comical run. In the episode My Friend, My Enemy, Hordak nearly dies from consuming the dreaded doomberries baked into a pie by the evil duo of Catra and Skeletor. Hordak has a rather notable and amusing nickname for the most powerful man in the universe.
So, Eternia's golden boy is helping the rebels again, is he?
Some of Hordak's earlier designs pop up in the layout artwork for the character, showing an angular, somewhat more evil looking villain. At times, a comical transformation has Hordak turn his arm into a literal cannon, complete with wheels and a fuse. In the episode Romeo and Glimmer, Hordak randomly shoots a laser beam out of his eye in order to stop Entraptor and Imp fighting. In a blink and you'll miss it frame, Hordak's frustration with Perfumer prompts him to smash his fists on his throne, causing the bones from his uniform to briefly separate. When Hordak first arrived on Eternia with his invading army, he sported a rather unimpressive Horde uniform. To be honest, I always thought it looked a tad ill-fitting. In an act reminiscent of a certain historic warmongerer, Hordak commands all the books of the village of Northland be burned in order to destroy the true history of Etheria. Although the variant action figure of Hurricane Hordak does not appear in the series, the gimmick kind of does in the episode Friendship. In the episode He Ain't Heavy, Hordak had no problem obtaining the Sword of Power from Prince Adam, though, of course, he doesn't realise it is the Sword of Power. Hordak's hatred of flowers, as seen in Flowers for Hordak, would be revisited in the Season 2 episode Day of the Flowers, when Hordak commands the mighty Monstroids to crush the flowers of Flower Mountain. The script for The Peril of Whispering Woods dictates that Hordak is Prince Zed's uncle, making Horde Prime Hordak's brother, something that is never addressed again in the series. Believe it or not, Hordak himself falls down the Fright Zone trapdoor twice in the series. Although Skeletor was his student, Hordak was not a fan of the Lord of Destruction's love of sorcery, with Hordak insistent on science and machinery being more reliable. Hordak dons a rather impressive looking armoured flying costume in the episode She-Ra Makes a Promise. Sadly, as impressive as it looks, it's pretty ineffective. In the episode A Talent for Trouble, as Hordak becomes more and more frustrated with Horde Science's inability to understand Orko, we see yellow pupils visible in Hordak's red eyes. It's quite the striking visual. And finally, Hordak utters quite possibly one of the best villainous lines from a 1980s cartoon in the episode Battle for Bright Moon.
One battle does not win a war, She-Ra.
And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe.